So, hello. Welcome to the Business Plugs Mixer. My name is Linda Murray Bullock. They call me the Business Plug, and I want to plug you into leadership is more than a title. But today, before I get into that, I want to tell you two things. First, I am hosting the First Fridays Meetup on Friday, October 6th at 6:30 at Slim and Huskies in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So if you're anywhere near, the link is in the description where you're watching this video. Go ahead and get your ticket because they're running out. People are signing up. It is both for in person and virtual. So regardless of where you are anywhere in the world, you can go ahead and join us virtually because Slim and Huskies allowed us to put our guests, our out-of-town guests, on the big screen. So go ahead and get your ticket, click the link, and we'll see you Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time on the Business Plugs Mixer. That's a live mixer this time. It's the First Fridays Meetup at Slim and Huskies in Chattanooga, Tennessee at 401 Martin Luther King Boulevard. That's the first thing. The second thing is if you are age 50 and over, and you are a female, I am hosting for 50 and over participants only, 8-week training course. And this is going to tell you how you can turn your skill sets, your current skill sets, into a viable business as a way of monetizing those skill sets to create additional income. That's what's coming up. I'm hosting a free webinar on Saturday. So that's on Eventbrite too, and the link is in this video. I hope you will join me on Friday and on Saturday. We get to spend some time together. But yeah, I'm doing this in order to help those 50 and over learn how they can monetize skill sets they already have. Because what the numbers said, when I did my interview with CBN News, what the numbers say is that at the age of 50, all of us are going to incur some kind of income disruption. And I want to make sure that I put the power in your hands because at 53, I lost my job and almost lost my lifestyle because I didn't have a second way of having income. So I want to teach people not to be like I was because nobody told me, and I'm telling you. So with those things done, I've done the housekeeping. Now it's time to welcome my girl, my guest, LJ, the motivator, speaker, who are you today, girl? You all the things. I've always called her LJ, the motivator. So, hey, LJ.
Hey now, I'm so happy to be here with you, friend.
Well, yeah, thank you. It's been a while. We've not done this in a while. So it was past time due. So tell my audience, remind them, who is LJ?
I am Lisa J. Crawford. I am an international best-selling speaker. I am an international best-selling author, and I love people. I'm a hospitality consultant, and I believe that people are our greatest asset.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. I couldn't agree with you more. And so you have been in hospitality for a
20 years.
long time. Yeah. When I first met you, I think you were in hospitality even back then.
Yes, baby. Yeah, I was.
Yeah. And so tell them about Lisa.
So, well, one thing about me is that I am very authentic in my story and my talk and everything that I do for people. I want them to know that no matter what you go through in life, you can come out on the other side if you choose to with your mind and with your thoughts.
I heard that. Thoughts of things. I love it. And so what do you do in your business? So when we talk about transformational speaking, right? Because that's a buzzword now. People are talking about, oh, they're not just wanting motivational speakers. They actually want transformational speakers. What is the difference between those?
To me, a motivator, they get you motivated. It's a rah session. And while you there, you got your notebook, you got your notes, you ready to go change the world. But when you get home, that notebook is sitting on your desk.
Oh, wow.
You are motivated for the moment. Okay? A transformational speaker is you are motivated to action. You are motivated to execute. So I want to be a transformational speaker at all times, even in the small things of life.
I love it. And a lot of people don't understand that difference. I still see people saying, I'm a motivational speaker. And that may very well be true. But the thing is, the goal is to transform, right? So that, that what we give them takes them outside of the event.
That's right.
Like they're able to apply it.
When I speak to people, one of my things is I may not hit the big stage all the time, but when I get there, I love it. I may not be in groups all the time, but my purpose is the set of eyes that I'm facing in that moment.
I heard
Any eye that's on me while I'm on the screen, those are the people that I'm talking to. That's where I want to change up in the heart.
I love it. I love it. And so when you talk about transformational speaking, you talk about how people who are in any state of life, how they can become who they dream of in their head or who they see themselves being. So you help them to make that shift, right?
I do. I do, because I had to make the shift. And I'm still making the shift. When are we ever really there?
I know. I know. I'm like, it's a journey.
It's a journey.
It's not a destination.
So in the moment, we have things that we want to do. And then social media is good. And it has this thing here. If you're not completed within yourself, if you don't know who you are, social media can take you on a downward spiral because the comparison thing comes up. And that's a big thing. I mean, when I look at people on social media, I be like, ooh, I be in my bed, in my yay, because I believe that they're doing what they say they're doing.
Yeah.
And everybody's platform don't have to be your platform.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
So it took me a long time to transform myself and my mind to know that wherever I talk at, I don't care if it's one-on-one and don't nobody ever hear about it, I am still living in my purpose.
I heard you. And that's the thing, right? Because we look at people and I learned a long time ago that social media only presents the highlights.
Right. That's
a fact. So, yeah. And so a lot of people are social media famous, but then living in misery.
Right. And one thing I had happen to me, and this just happened to me last week. You know, people say, oh, Crawford, you going here, you flying there, oh my goodness, you're doing it. And that's great. Hoorah. I'm seeing some great things and I'm doing what I love. But from the time I left my house last week at the airport at 8:21 till my flight got into Dallas-Fort Worth, delayed. Then it was delayed again. Then I ended up having to spend the night. Then the shuttle that was supposed to come pick me up in the dark at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night never showed up after an hour. The little man that was sitting with me, protecting me, had to go. Then another lady who I don't know came and she said, let's just get an Uber because we was going to the same hotel. I'm in this hotel with my clothes on because I had nothing but the clothes I had on my back. And thank goodness I wore a dress. I tucked that dress up under my feet and I just laid in the bed like this. It wasn't a bad hotel, but I was not comfortable. And then I had to be back up at 5 a.m. to get to the airport for a 9:30 flight. That's all go with it.
Yeah. If you've ever done a layover, cancellations overnight, it's horrible. It's horrible. It is. And most times the airline doesn't support you unless it's due to mechanical issues on their end. Right. If it's weather, you are just SOL and you have to figure it out. Yep. And so, yeah, I've had one of those instances and you're right. It is like, yeah.
And I ended up staying in the airport, sleeping in the airport twice because it wasn't mechanical. But I was like, you know what, Lord, put me with somebody that's got some sense. And both times I got with two girls. We would buy a bathroom, buy a vending machine, buy some plugs, and we watched out for each other.
I know it.
That's the non-glamorous side.
Yeah, because there's a lot of craziness happening in the world. And people think that because they see you on Facebook or LinkedIn or wherever, and that you have this fabulous life, that you're on these stages, that you're doing all these fabulous things and experiencing the world and seeing it all, they don't realize that you're a human being with regular life issues and life problems, right? And so a lot of times, but people look at the glamour on social media, and they look at their own lives and they think, well, I could never do that. And so they get despondent and they get, dissuaded about pursuing their own dreams and ambitions.
That's fact. That's a fact. But I'm here for them. Those are my people.
Those are your people.
Those are my people.
Those are your people. Those are who you're trying to reach. Because what do you want to tell them?
I want to tell them that no matter what comes, if you keep your mindset together, if you read, if you meditate, if you sit by yourself and don't doubt yourself, no matter what's happening, because I have to do this every day to this day. And I have to convince myself, you know what? You are where you are because you planted seeds. I talk to myself all the time. And there's nothing wrong with that, people.
I love it. The positive talk, too. The positive talk. The positive talk. Because I had an interview with Coach Donna Sunday, and she talked about the messages that we give to ourselves, right? And a lot of times when we get in isolation, how those messages can quickly become negative because all that stuff that people have said about you or made you think about yourself, that is, you're not worthy. Who are you to be wanting to live this life? Well, the who are you? The who are you doubts and things that when you're isolated and by yourself, and especially traveling in foreign places with foreign people, right?
Right.
If you are not careful, you can get caught up in listening to those negative thoughts as well. And so
I'm sorry. Being on the road like I am, even right now. So it's, what is it with you? 8:32?
Yeah.
8:52. So it's just not 5:52 with me. Yeah. So by the time I get settled in and I want to talk on the phone or something, my family's asleep. My grandkids in the bed. So I really have to know, you have to know who you are as a person and not fall into loneliness. Or feeling some kind of way because you got stuff to do. And you know what? Yesterday, we have a lot of things to do, but sometimes you just need to sit down and lay in a bed. And it's okay.
And it's okay. It's okay.
Okay. I did that yesterday because I was off and I went to work today. I was like, you'd have thought I was Tinkerbell. I was flying around.
Because you were ready. You were well rested and then ready to deal with people.
It was amazing. So I just want to also encourage people to take time for themselves. I used to be, I've been delivered, hallelujah, from being a people pleaser. So I'm not available all the time no more.
I love it. I love it.
If I'm sitting down, I may not still be available. Yeah. And so sometimes we got to pull back so we can take care of us.
I love it. I love it. And so all of this, when people talk about leadership, all of this plays into the title. It plays into the title of, it's not just a title. Like self-care is a part of leading.
It is.
You have to
you can't pour from an empty cup. That's a cliche, but it's a fact.
Yeah. It is. So if you deplete it, you learn, right?
Real quick in the hospital.
Exactly.
That's exactly where you learn.
Exactly.
One of the greatest leaders I had in my beginning hospitality career was a little lady. Her name Miss Gail. I can't remember Miss Gail's last name, but Miss Gail. She about 98 pounds. She was the front lobby attendant. This lady, as I kept growing and growing, when I got into management, she would pull me to the side and she would grab me up under here. And if she saw me looking some kind of way, because she real tiny, and she said, "What's wrong with your face? What's going on back there?" And she kept me in check. You hear me? She said, "You don't let nobody win. You are the one." And so, you have to feel that thing, but I didn't feel it, but she kept pouring that into me.
Exactly. Yeah. Everybody needs that.
You need that.
One person that will give you an honest feedback. Because a lot of times we get caught up with the yes people, right? And we want everybody to say, "Yeah, you're going good, girl. Go, you do it. You did." That sounds good and has place too. But the thing about it is, if nobody's giving you the true vision of yourself, the true perception of yourself, you lose sight of who you are, and you don't even know when the shift happens.
That part.
Yeah.
That's a word.
Yeah. So understanding and having honest people who give you honest feedback and not being afraid to say, hey girl, check that. What's going on? Like
Right.
it is truly the people who have your heart who can hear the words you don't say.
That's right. Now, my granddaughter, our favorite little business partner, our little meeting girl.
I know it. Oh my gosh, she's gotten so big. I
She
can't.
is.
I
Now
can't. I'm like, you're grown lady now. Who are you? Where's my little girl?
When she was 9 years old, I will never forget this. I was washing dishes. I had started putting out books. I had magazines rolling all at the same time. I was doing this and doing that. And she said, Yaya, can I interview you? She was sitting at the table. I was washing dishes. I said, sure. So she got a wooden spoon. And she said, so, Lisa Crawford, I want to ask you one question. How is it that you do all of these things that make such a change in people's lives and you don't give yourself credit for any of it?
Oh.
She was 9.
Oh.
That hit me in my soul because I'm like, I said, ma'am, I said, why do you say that? She said, you do one thing, ma'am, from my research. You do one thing and then you move on to the next thing. And then if somebody bring up the first thing, you act like you didn't even do it. You was like, oh yeah, I did that. With no emotion. You put work into that because I was there and I saw you. What are you going to do about that, ma'am? Out of the mouth of babes.
I know. I love her. I love her. She's been a special girl all her life. I love her.
All her life. And I never forgot that. And so I had to grow and develop from that. I really did because I'm like, oh, I did that. It doesn't matter. But when I look back over the things, I'm like, God, no, girl, that was hot. You wrote that. That was
exactly.
Good.
Exactly. Because so we get used to the sound of the applause that becomes muted. Like you don't really, it's like, that was no big deal. But you done poured your life, heart, soul, blood, sweat, and tears, everything into something. And then you go away, okay, done that. Next thing, next. And it's always next and next. And that can be a whole problem.
That's a problem. That's a whole problem. The past few months prior to this one, I was just focusing on trying to do Lisa and try to work on myself inside. Yeah. And so come the BER months, it's only popping.
It's only popping. The BER months. I love it. Yeah. I love it. Fourth quarter, better known as fourth quarter.
This girl sent me a message this morning. She said, what are you going to do in your BER months? I'm like, girl, you better. So fourth quarter. Yeah. You got to have something working. Even if you're not making a sound, you still got to be working on something.
Yeah. On something. And that's the thing, because people get caught up in their public self, right? Mm-hmm. And like public self always has to be popping. Always be selling something, the old marketing, always be selling, ABC, always be selling. But the thing about it is, you need to fulfill whatever that is in you.
That's right.
That feels like the mission you were given. Like I'm so much more appreciative of the fact that I get to do what I do now. I love what I do. Mm-hmm. Because I had to get to the point of appreciation. Like I wasn't, even though I was doing it and been doing it for years, I wasn't appreciating the fact that I was chosen to do this work.
That.
Yeah, that's a whole calling.
That is.
So a lot of people don't know that they've been called. Mm-mm. They think, oh, well, I know how to do this easily. Oh, well, this comes to me easily. Oh, I can do that in my sleep. And not realizing that, no, that's an anointment.
Come on now. Come on. You know what? When I do the hospitality, I've been all over the United States. And I stayed in some swanky places.
Yes,
and
you
I'm
have.
very grateful. I'm so grateful. But they say, well, oh, What about say, oh, you go here, you go here. How's the job? The job is the job. My focus is the people. When I come into a room, if I see disarray on somebody's face, I bring peace to chaos. That's my position.
I heard
That's
you.
what I do. And so if several people don't come and greet me or say something to me, I'm scanning the room for the problem. I'm looking, because I know when I come, I'm bringing peace. But if there's no peace, I'm looking. I'm trying to say, who is it? That's who I'm going after. So I ask God, give me a divine supernatural discernment of people when I step into a room.
I love it.
That is my prayer.
I love it.
So I want to get the right one.
Yeah. And see, I understand that. I did a leadership conference with some leaders in a federal space, and I understood, like they brought me in, but I understood why they brought me in, because I understand that leadership's attitude trickles down. If you find disgruntled employees, you're going to find a disgruntled manager. You're going to find a disgruntled leader, because that attitude trickles down. It doesn't come from just nowhere.
That's right.
It is actually cause and effect.
So I had somebody that I allowed somebody to just almost destroy me because I wasn't strong enough to fight them inside myself. And so even when they did something well, I would say, hey, that was a great speech you gave to the people today. They'd be like, oh, for real? Even with me knowing that they probably just finna write me up or try to fire me in the next second, I wanted to make sure that I did my part, because I understand if you treat me this way, somebody ain't treating you right. I said ain't. They're not treating you right. And I honored that part. So if I saw good from this person, I let them know. Yeah. Even if they never let me know, I let them know, because I have to do my part.
Absolutely. And that's accountability on your part.
Amen.
Like, you have to play your position.
I do.
And the position that you were given is one of peace.
It is. They wasn't bringing me no peace. They wasn't thinking about my peace, but that's okay. I had to learn. You know, a lot of times when we go through things, this has been the greatest lesson of all for me. I went through all of that hardship with that person, but I turned around and God turned that bucket of lemons, it was beyond a bucket, it was a garbage truck of lemons, and made lemonade and gave me a platform of understanding and learning how to deal with people where they are. Right where they are.
That right there. The amazing point of that is you can have your opinion that conflicts with mine. And guess what? We both okay. Because I'm going to be okay. The fact that you don't agree with what I say, or I don't agree with what you say, that's it. You have your opinion, I have mine. It doesn't make it where we can't work together. It doesn't make it where I can't support you.
Right. Absolutely.
And then that's the thing. People get caught up in their emotions about what this person, their opinion doesn't favor what I believe. You know, especially in now we're getting ready to go in through this political
mess
hailstorm. We're getting ready to go in this political hailstorm, and people, you know, are going to be on this side or that side, this color or that color, you know, as far as the color of the states or the politics or whatever. And so they feel like, oh, well, you're a leftist, or you're a rightist, or you're this, or you're that. It's okay. It's okay for us to disagree, but we still have work to do. We still have people who need help. We still have our assignments to fulfill.
That's right. And it turns around back into people being hospitable. I don't care which color you on, what side you on, the color of your skin, it doesn't matter. People have lost hospitality within themselves.
Wow.
And that is where we need to get back to. I saw on the news this morning, a 13-year-old girl. I don't know the backstory it is, but it don't look like it was a backstory from the from the video. 13-year-old child went to McDonald's with her friend on her way home from school. A grown woman came and attacked this child. It was at least 15 people in the McDonald's. They had their phones out. Nobody helped that baby. Nobody. She got a black eye, swole face, and nobody helped that baby. She's a child. Where is the humanity? It's gone. And I'm irritated. I'm sorry.
I know, because when you have grandkids or you even know children, and you know that grown people are attacking children, this world is a mess right now. I mean, everything that could possibly happen is happening on such a large scale that people have just lost their center. They've lost their integrity and everything that goes with it. And so, but now it's time for the peacekeepers, right? One of the things that happened to me when I first woke up from my coma, you know, this is the second year anniversary of that. But one of the things that happened to me is God said, tell people what happened to you and tell them I've given them visions. And your job is to help them to get those visions on their feet, because there is a spiritual war going on. This was 2 years ago.
Come on now.
And so when I tell people that, like my new clients, the new people I've met, I tell them I woke up out of a coma to visit you, like to meet you, because I didn't know you on the other side of my nap. I had no idea who you were. But now I know you, and now I see the purpose of what God has given you. And now I know that my job is to help you put that on his feet. And so before they can understand or receive what I'm talking about, they have to meet somebody like you that can help them to turn that doubt, that mindset, that shift in the feelings and the thinking and all this other stuff they have to go through, right? And so coming to you and feeling like, you know, I know I'm supposed to be something, but I don't know the something I'm supposed to be.
Yeah. That part right there. You know what? When people, they say they don't know. Mm-hmm. But if you have come through and overcome something, or if you still in something, deep down in your soul, you know. I had a general manager tell me in Maine, he said, you know what, Lisa? You walk into the fire. And I took that and I walk into the fire and I walk through the fire so I can grab you while you go through your fire. That's my purpose.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Lifting while you climb. I mean, bringing people up. Lifting them up while you're climbing up. I mean, I love it. I love it.
People already feel like they're on the bottom of the barrel anyway. But somebody got to be able to look them in the face and say, good morning. How are you today? Oh, your hair look good, girl. You know, sir, that's a nice haircut. I told this man he had a nice, I said, oh, sir, your hair looks so good. He said, really? Men don't get compliments. He said, really? That's his head. I said, see, he needs something. He needed that this morning. Yeah. So it's the simple things that we can do as human beings to help somebody else be like, oh, okay. Absolutely. I'm going through one simple thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I am on a mission when it comes to young girls, especially teen girls. Like I call them all beautiful. Because I don't know. I read a study that was from the National Institute of Health, and it said that especially girls of color, in those teen years, they have self-doubt, right, and low esteem, and it's because of the environments they're in. They're not taught to be self-appreciative, right. And so on my mission, after reading, I was like, not around me, they won't. This I was beautiful, gorgeous, honey. You are just, you know, I pour into those teens because it's my belief that teens who have low self-esteem and have self-doubt grow up to be adults with the same, if not worse.
But these kids these days, they go from low self-esteem, self-doubt, to bullying, to suicide. Do you hear me? A 12-year-old girl left a note, a little video, because she was beautiful to me, but she was bullied so bad, and she killed herself. 12.
Oh, that hurts my heart. That hurts my heart.
It is so much pressure now. You know, and so they going from cyberbullying, and then you getting bullied here. You already don't feel good. You don't listen to your parents that you're beautiful now because the world says that you're not. The internet says that you're not. And then you get under so much pressure. Next thing you know, you're trying to.
I know.
My heart goes out to them, but I said, Lord, let me see. Let me see that person, that kid, and let me say, give me an inside notion to say something to them.
And I hear the parents of suicidal children or kids who have committed suicide, and I hear so and so did not wake up this morning, and it tears my heart out.
Yeah,
because I don't think parents should be burying their children. One, and then to know and have known that kid, and to know what a light they had in them, and to see that light snuffed out far too early.
Far too early.
It's
far
just
too early.
It's disheartening because I think about, all the potential, all the experiences that person didn't get to have. And it just saddens me.
It's sad. And then you have men who are between 25 and 35. They still trying to find their way. Yeah. And who do they go to that they can trust to tell them, I'm sad and it's okay? Or my heart is broken about something that happened to me I can't get over. Who can a man trust? Because men are supposed to be this when they need this.
Yeah.
Girl.
Yeah. That I had a whole conversation about that with my son, and we talked about, because he was like, Mom, men need male correction. And in order for them to get that, it has to be somebody who is willing to open up and accept them as they are.
As they are.
Instead of man up, be tough, don't show any emotions, all that stuff. And I love the fact that he found solace in his dad, for one, and also in other group of men who are seeking the same thing, who found mentors that they could listen to. Right. Because when you look at how men are learning, it's okay to love, it's okay to have one woman, it's okay to raise my kids, it's okay to be present in my kids' life. I'm not babysitting, I'm keeping my kids. Like that part. when you learn all the things that people say about men don't spend time with the children, that's the woman's job, and all this back craziness. But then you see young men in that age group you just mentioned specifically who have children, and to see them spend time. I love seeing them at the store with their kids. I love them even when they're babies and they're with the baby and they're pushing the baby through the store, or taking the baby for a walk, or at the playground with the baby. Like, to see that man in that child's life does me well. I was speaking of, Kirk Franklin's documentary just came out a few days ago. And and that whole thing there. But then so many men don't have a relationship with their fathers because so many women are angry, and they sacrifice the wellness of their kids by not allowing that father to be a father for that child. Right. And so that whole Kirk Franklin thing, that kind of got to me. And I mean, my heart goes out to him and his dad. I'm so glad that the DNA test showed that that's his father, because the guy who died, he died thinking he was the father, right? Yeah. And then now, he's DNA says, yeah, that's my real dad. And whatever made his father stand up and say, hey, if you want to know, then here, you can test it.
That's beautiful. The part that got to me about that, and I watched that like several times because it hit me so hard. But his mom was so selfish. Even if she didn't believe it, Dana don't lie. So twice.
I know.
So she said she still did not want to do it because she said, I still can't have you. I felt so bad for him right then. Yeah. But what uplifted me was when he was sitting on the floor and he touched his son's face. That man needed that. He had a whole full-grown beard, but that was his dad.
Because regardless of how old men get, they still need that male correction by their fathers.
They need it.
I've watched closely as a couple of guys who were in my life, and how once their kids got 18, their sons, they pushed their sons away. And my dad was guilty of that too, pushing your son away to go be a man and then nurturing their daughters. And so who do you think that daughter's going to end up with? A man that you've pushed away, somebody's pushed away and not shown how to be a man. Like,
right? That don't make sense.
I know it, but we do it, and we do it without thinking. And so that's the thing, is like helping people find how to be better people.
Yeah.
Regardless of your gender. Helping you to be a better person in order to be more compassionate.
That's a word, compassionate. That's right. And people are losing that. They angry. People are mad. Why are you mad?
Yeah, why are you so mad?
I talked to this lady on the phone yesterday, and she was screaming at me the whole conversation. And I said, ma'am, can I get your phone number? Why do you need my number? I said, well, I was going to take that phone number and walk it to the person that needs to call you and stand there with them, but I don't have to if you don't want me to. Oh, okay. Quit playing with me. I'm here to help you, not hurt you. I am a problem solver. If you call me with the problem, I'm going to keep going until I get you an answer.
I heard it.
I gave her my email address. She said, well, why do I need that? I said, well, all I can do for you is give you my information, and then we can move forward. And you can circle back and let me know whether you got help or not. Oh my goodness. But we have to learn how to deal with those kind of people.
Absolutely, because they're here. They bad. Like you said, they big mad.
Big mad. My God, you got so much what you need.
I tell you what, there's nothing but truth there. But yeah, so as we close, what is one takeaway you want the people who are watching this video to take away from this conversation?
I want you to sit with yourself. Let me look at you. I want you to sit with yourself. And if you got some backstory stuff that you have not dealt with, and I'm saying this to you because this is something that I am doing and I have done. I am on a journey for the truth. You need to sit with yourself and get your notepad and write things out that are hurting you deep down inside, that's preventing you from moving forward. You know what it is. And so I think before you can go into purpose, you got to figure out this in your heart, because it's tough out here. And if you weak within yourself because of something that happened to you 26 years ago, baby, let's get that together, because we can't fix that back there. 90% of the time, we cannot fix that. We got to move forward, take that, what happened back there, turn it into a program, turn it into a book, tell somebody your story, get on a stage, do something, write it down in a letter, and make it work for you or get rid of it. You hear me? Because you matter, and somebody's waiting on that story. And so I want you to know that your leadership does not require a title. Your title is you care. Your title is that you're hospitable. Your title is that you love people. That's your title.
I love it. I love it. My name is Linda Murray Bullock. They call me the business plug. I just plugged you into LJ Crawford, the transformational speaker. And leadership is not just a title. You can join me here every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And we'll see you this Sunday on the Business Plugs Mixer. You all have a great night. Have a great week.